Good morning, everyone. It's Heidi Fisher here. I'm just going to do a quick video to show those of you that wanted to know how to fill in the articles for your CIC, so for your community interest company application. So I'm just going to share my screen and show you exactly what you need to fill in. So when you've got your articles on the first page of your articles, if I just, let's move this down out of the way. You need to put the name in here of your community interest company. So if you're going to call it, I don't know, like mine, Make an Impact. So you insert the name Make an Impact in there. I do recommend that you just use the model articles unless there's something in particular that you want to change. But if you are looking to get funding, then the best option is to be a CIC limited by guarantee. And this one is a small membership, which means that the members are also the directors of the company. And that's it in terms of the first page. Then when you get down to the start of the actual articles, again, in this section, you need to insert the name of your CIC. You don't need to change any of the text that's in red. What you do need to do at point 3.5 is name another asset locked body, so another CIC or charity to benefit if you decide to close down your CIC, or it could be a community benefit society. If you can't decide on a specific CIC or charity or other type of organisation, then you can put any other similar organisation or an organisation that is conducting similar activities in consultation with the regulator. So you need to just make sure that you add that wording in there, that whoever will benefit, if you're not going to specify a named organisation, that you put any other organisation that is delivering similar activities or services in consultation with the regulator. So that goes in at point 3.5. If you do know the name of the organisation, then you stick that in, and overleaf you put their charity registration number if they're a charity, or their company number if they are a CIC, and then their registered office address. Then on that page at point 5, you put in the objects. So the objects are the purpose or the activities that the organisation is going to carry on. So this could be providing training, it could be sports activities, mental health, wellbeing services, whatever it is that you're planning to do. And I encourage you, when you put that in there, to add on the end of whatever you write and any other similar activities. It's also not a good idea to be very, very specific about your location unless you know you're definitely only going to work in that particular location, because that will restrict you if you wanted to apply for funding outside of that particular location. So, for example, if you said you were going to deliver mental health and wellbeing services in London, and then you had an opportunity to apply for funding to do something across the whole of the Southeast region, you would then be ineligible because your articles only allow you to deliver your services in London, and you would then need to change your articles. Okay, so scrolling through, there's nothing else that you need to worry about changing in the articles. I'm just scrolling through to get to the final bit that you need to change. But basically, keep going down until you get to the schedule interpretation, and where it says company at 1.10, you need to insert the name. So in this bit that I've just highlighted, you put your community interest company name. So if it was mine, it would be Make an Impact. Then you need to save that. If you are doing your application online, you need to save that as a PDF. Once that is completed, that is it in terms of what you need to do for that document. The other document that you need to fill in is a CIC36, where you put the company name in, you say who the community is that you're going to benefit. So this could be young people, it could be people in a specific location, so people that live in Birmingham, people that live in Bristol, wherever it is. It could be people that live in Spain, etc. You can set up a community interest company that doesn't work in the UK. It could specify an age group, it could specify a particular type of characteristic. So you could talk about young entrepreneurs, people with a particular health condition. But again, I encourage you not to be so specific that you limit yourself in terms of what you want to do. So you probably wouldn't say you were going to work with children aged between 2 and 6, for example, because that's very limiting. And you might just say you're going to work with children and young people and not specify their age. At the top of the second page, add your company name again in that top box. And then in these boxes, tell us what activities you're going to do. So this is what activities or services or products you're going to deliver, and then how it benefits the community. So if you're going to provide training, then that's about providing people with new skills. If you're going to support people with health issues, perhaps it's helping them to live more independently, etc. So with the activities, just add whatever you've got. There are continuation sheets if you need more than 2 boxes. And then on the bottom of here, if the company makes any surplus, it will be used for, the typical thing to put in here is for reinvesting back into the organization to develop more services or activities for the community. The final page, put the company name in, and then anyone that is going to be a director to start with in terms of the first directors as part of your application will need to sign this CIC 36 form. If you are doing it online, the easiest way to get signatures is to sign on a sheet of paper, take a photo with your phone, email that image to yourself, and then insert it. So if you go into here and then insert a picture and find your signature and insert it in there, you may need to crop it slightly if the signature isn't showing very clearly, but that's the quickest and easiest way to get your electronic signature in there. If you're doing paper-based, obviously, then you need to post it round or physically take it to each of the directors and get them to physically sign the sheet of paper, which can be a bit fiddly. I do recommend when you're first setting up your CIC, it's much easier if you just do it with yourself as the sole director. And then once your CIC is set up, just add the other 2 directors through web filing at Companies House, which is a really quick and easy process. And they usually get confirmation that they're added within an hour or so. So particularly if you're going for funding, you will need a minimum of 3 unrelated directors that don't live at the same address. But it can be quite difficult to get everyone to sign the paperwork if you're trying to do it by post. So it's easier if you just do it with the one director to start with. You can then add your contact details if you want, but that is it in terms of what you need to complete. If you are doing an online application, let me just find the right screen to share. So if you are doing your CIC registration online, just click on this button, register your CIC online with Companies House, and you then start a new application. All of the details in terms of who the directors are, so names, addresses, the registered office, etc., all get filled in on this form, and you just upload your articles and the CIC 36 as PDFs to this process. If you do it this way, obviously you're less likely to make mistakes because it will flag an error if you're doing something wrong. Whereas if you're doing paper-based forms, if there's something wrong on that form, then it can be rejected. And if you do an online CIC registration, usually within a day or 2, you get confirmation as to whether that has been accepted. Okay, so I hope that is useful for those of you that are looking to set up CICs. Obviously, don't forget the CIC regulator does regular webinars, and there are some that are on their website that you can access that go into more detail about the online application process. But that is it from me. Thank you.